OceanGate, an American travel and adventure company, owned and operated the submersible Titan, which sank on June 18, 2023, about 370 nautical miles 690 kilometers off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. It was part of a tourist outing to see the Titanic's wreckage, which carried 5 passengers. Titan's communication was lost an hour and 45 minutes into its descent, and when it didn't resurface later that day as expected, authorities were alerted and began an investigation to find the missing submersible. On June 22, 2023, a remotely operated vehicle ROV discovered 5 pieces of debris strewn across the seabed about 500 meters from the Titanic shipwreck. This discovery put an end to the search for the Titan. At some point during the voyage, the submersible underwent a catastrophic implosion, and all 5 occupants, namely Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, Paul Henry Ph. Nargiolet, a retired French Navy veteran, Hamish Harding, a British billionaire, Shahzada Dawood, a Pakistani businessman, and Sulman, his 19-year-old son, are believed to have perished. It's widely regarded as one of the most devastating incidents of the decade, as it caused chaos all over the world. The US Coast Guard has declared its intention to carry out the search in order to recover any potential remnants. Unfortunately for the families of the deceased, it is very likely that the bodies of the victims will forever remain unfound. This is because of several reasons surrounding the tragic incident. As for what they are, let's check the specifics. The first point is that the submersible imploded at the bottom of the ocean, estimated at 3,500 feet below sea level. Hypothetically, when a person dies underwater, the body could be preserved due to the cold temperature of the sea that is nearing freezing temperature. The lack of oxygen in the depths of the ocean floor will also help, as this would slow down the body's decomposition process. But it is also due to this and the extreme pressure squeezing all the gases out of the body that it won't be able to float back to the surface. But the thing is, assuming it has been preserved, trying to find a body in the middle of the ocean is no different from trying to find a lost needle in a mountain. While certainly not impossible, it surely is reaching infinitely close to it. Countless amounts of effort need to be invested in order to conduct the search, but as long as someone is willing, with enough time, investigation may bring desired results. But here comes the problem: the bodies aren't the only things present in the deep sea. Countless marine life hides in the darkness at the depths of the ocean. By the time the search is being conducted, it is likely that different marine organisms and scavengers will eventually consume a human body if it is left on the ocean floor. Numerous animals that specialize in scavenging and eating organic material, including dead animals, are abundant on the ocean floor. And even if not that, even when the process of decomposition is slowed down significantly, it is still undergoing decomposition. It's just a matter of time before the corrosiveness of salt fully dissolves it from the organs to the skeleton. All of these are under the assumption that the bodies of the 5 passengers of the Titan submersible were not absolutely destroyed by the implosion itself. The submarine's hull is being impacted by extremely high water pressure at a depth of 3,500 feet. Water would rush into the submarine quickly if the hull collapsed or was breached, immediately raising the pressure inside the vessel. At 3,500 feet, the pressure is about 120 times more than the surface, having enough force to crush a human body in seconds. It's equivalent to the weight of approximately 350 cars pressing down on every square inch of your body. Human bodies are not built to withstand pressure levels this high. Since the pressure is so high at these depths, the body may experience a number of physiological effects. The bones will deform from the high pressure in areas that are less dense, and the body will reduce in volume and compress. The intense pressure can cause gases within the body to dissolve into the surrounding water, resulting in bloating and distortion of the corpse. With how much time the search itself would take, it's a question if they'll even find something, or if they do, would they even recognize it? The chances of the bodies getting found are getting lower and lower at each passing moment, and while it's sad to say, it won't likely happen at all. Such a tragic outcome eerily resembles the fate of the Titanic, the wreckage that was the target of this exploration. James Cameron, the director of the famous film Titanic, expressed how he was struck by how similar this situation was to the Titanic disaster, where the captain ignored repeated warnings about the ice ahead of his ship and steamed into the ice field at full speed on a moonless night, killing many people. As it is known that Stockton Rush, CEO of OceanGate, had been informed of the potential for a disastrous outcome. It was September 1, 1985 when the ruins of the ship were first discovered at the bottom of the Atlantic floor by Robert Dwayne Ballard, 73 years after it sank in 1912. The Titanic's hull is located relatively close to Newfoundland and Labrador off the coast of Canada, at a depth of about 3,800 meters. As you might expect, the ship's remnants have gotten worse with time, and experts predict that because salt water corrodes materials, the ship will eventually dissolve almost entirely. We do, however, know that there are still a ton of objects underwater, many of which are the remains of the victims' possessions, thanks to numerous investigation expeditions to the area. Wine bottles, shoes, and suitcases are a few of the objects that can be seen scattered across the ocean floor as reminders of lives that the icy Atlantic waves claimed too soon. However, there was still something crucially missing: human remains. A total of 1,160 people perished on the Titanic, but nobody's body has ever been discovered. Over 70 years passed before the ship's wreckage was even discovered. Everything had been exposed to seawater for a long time before the investigations started. It is evident that almost all of the unaccounted for bodies have been dissolving and will keep doing so until they eventually vanish. In addition to the salt water, the area is also home to bacteria and animals from the ocean that feed on human tissues like the skin. James Delgado, a marine archaeologist, claims that at that depth, even teeth can dissolve. The passengers of the Titanic that sank with the ship 11 years ago parallels the fate of the 5 people on board the submersible Titan quite a bit. Both are equal tragedies that will be recorded in human history. We can only hope for a miracle to happen and for the remains to be found, to somewhat ease the soul of the demise and the pain and grief of the deceased family. But as of now, the remains are still in the sea, slumbering peacefully for eternity. Was your attention caught by this story? Please subscribe to Weather Collapse if you want to know more and be updated on the latest news about natural calamities or disasters happening all over the world, and don't forget to like today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.